What's up, everyone, and welcome to the stream. My name is Jared Raid Boss Barber, and I got Bub with me today. How you doing, Bub?
I feel out of my element. I'm not gonna lie to you.
A little bit, yeah. You're used to the Rocket League, but today we got League of Legends, an exciting game today as well against Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State, and we've had matches with these fellas in the past, so it's going to be a good game today. Overall, pretty even ranks across the board. Should be a really good match. And what are you looking forward to tonight, Bub?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm looking forward to actually seeing our league team play. It's been a hot minute since we've seen our league team on the broadcast. I think the first broadcast of the year was the last time they were on, and we've seen 4, 5, 6 Rocket League games since then. We've seen Overwatch like 3 or 4 times. It's been a minute.
So just to update the audience a little bit, I believe our league team is undefeated, correct, currently?
Well, undefeated, yes. They're 1-0. That does mean they're undefeated.
5-0 in GLEC, though, right?
Yeah, I think so. Across the board, they're undefeated. They don't lose very often. They did go to the Passion Series out at Concord University. I think they got a top 3 finish out there. I think that's literally their only losses this year. They lost to Cumberland and I think Concord as well.
Sounds right, yeah. Great teams, too, so not necessarily bad to lose against them. We'll get them another time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, it looks like we are in draft, and it looks like Kennesaw State is opting to ban out our jungler, Kitu, with a Kiana, Silas, and a Karthus ban. That Karthus ban sticks out a little bit to me. I know Kitu has a lot of Kiana and Silas under his belt, but not a lot of Karthus, so that's very interesting. NECC is opting to also ban out the jungle primarily with a Kha'Zix and Xin Zhao ban, but also a Braum ban. So my guess that Braum ban is likely due to Xin Zhao and Kha'Zix, both valid bans. Kennesaw State is going to go ahead and lock in the Wukong. Very good team play pick, and NECC is going to counter with that Lilia pick. Bub, do you know anything about these champs?
There are some names I recognize. We've joked about this off the broadcast a little bit. I think the last league broadcast I did was like the very last one at the end of last year, and I don't play League. Well, I do, but not well. It's been a hot minute. I do recognize Lilia, Sivir, Zed, and Wukong, as well as Silas and Xin Zhao and Braum. And that's about as far as my knowledge goes on the screen so far.
Couple of picks there, yeah. And we did actually see a Zed hover there for a moment. Zed is a very rare pick in team play. He's an assassin that basically does that. Kills one player and gets out. Didn't lock it in, though. Instead, they went ahead and locked in the Kai'Sa and Aurora. And NECC matched with a Ryze pick. One of my personal favorite champions right there, Ryze. People really like the Uncle Ryze skin. I guess I got my nickname from. Anyways, we got an Alistar ban from NECC. Braum and Alistar are both kind of counter-engaged champs, so NECC is looking to get rid of those picks out of Kennesaw champ pool. Kennesaw State's going to go ahead and ban Ambessa. One thing I forgot to mention, Bub, is last time we were on, NECC had completely different roles. We decided to do a bunch of role swapping, so we now have Bandit Boy back in the top lane, which is why you see that Ambessa ban. Kitu and Luca are both still in their roles jungle mid, but we actually have Ping as our ADC and Bo as our support.
You know, I heard that Bo had been trying out support and enjoying it, but I hadn't actually talked to the team that much, and I didn't know they actually made that swap. I knew Bandit Boy was going back top. I did know that, but I didn't know if Bo had actually decided between ADC or support. So that
he went ahead and decided the support, so that Nautilus pick is going to be for Bo. It looks like we also saw another top ban from Kennesaw State, the Gragas, another Bandit Boy champion, and then it looks like NECC also banned the Rel, which is an engaged champ rather than the 2 disengaged champs that were picked. Nautilus is a great engaged champ. Looks like it is counterpicked with a Leona. I'm pretty sure Leona is good into Nautilus, but not really too sure how good that is. It really kind of just depends on how Bo's playing. If he's playing smart and using his brain, he'll be fine. But we know Bo, he likes to go in, he likes to have a little bit of action, so we'll see how that goes for him. And it looks like their top lane is going to go ahead and pick the Gwen. First picking Gwen. So I'm curious to see who... Renekton right now, hovering the Urgot. Ooh, Urgot. I like to see that pick. Back to the Renekton. Curious who he's going to pick here. He's got a very big champ pool. I never really know who he's going to play.
Remember last year's broadcasts, they did take out the two that we saw him play, I think, the most last year. I guess in the Mbessa as well.
Yep, that's probably why they went ahead and banned those two champs out.
Yeah.
Does look like Bandit Boy is going to opt for the Renekton pick.
Yeah.
So that's draft right there. Reviewing these two drafts, these are both very scary teams, if you ask me. Indiana Tech has a lot of tools to get in there, and they have a lot of... Renekton and Rise can kind of fight for a while. They're both fight for long periods of time and also get more powerful as they fight. And Kennesaw State also kind of has similar things. Gwen can kind of fight for a while. Wukong can fight for a while. So I feel like we're going to have quite a big bloodbath on our hands here. I think we can kind of expect Indiana Tech to do an early invade. There hasn't been a game where they haven't invaded. So I guess here's the Indiana Tech squad. All the handsome fellas you see. Yeah. What's up, guys? Anyways, what I was saying earlier, Indiana Tech is probably going to do an early invade, so it'll be interesting.
An invisible caster over there. Who was that guy?
Who was that?
Who was that guy?
Caster 2.
Caster 2. The room with us, I think. The helmet? I think it's the helmet. The helmet joined us for a second, folks. Well, I think it's time we actually address the elephant in the room. Last time we did a broadcast, if the draft scene looked a little different, we got Fearless, I think, for the first time on our broadcast.
Very good point. So to those who don't know, Fearless is kind of a new thing in the league scene.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, it makes the games a lot more exciting. If a champion is picked in game 1, it cannot be picked again in game 2 or game 3. Once the champion is picked, it cannot be picked the rest of the series. So it kind of forces players to have a bigger champ pool, so that way they're not like picking their 2 champs in games 2 and game 3, and they're like, well, I don't have a pick for game 3, so what am I gonna do? So it almost forces players to be able to draft and kind of choose characters more carefully. They can't just choose the same 3 characters every game. They have to choose something different every game, and it adds a little bit more variety to the games as well. I like it. I love Fearless. I'm very glad that it's starting to finally be implemented into collegiate and pro play.
Yeah, I mean, even as a casual viewer on my own right, seeing it this year, especially in the pro scene for League, and then I think even last year I started talking to it about with you guys even on League team. It was exciting to watch, seeing variety, and I think we've talked about how it could raise the skill ceiling. Not only in the pro scene, obviously it's going to there, but even in collegiate, it's harder. You have to be able to play more champs. You have to be able to
100%.
Like you said, strategize more.
No longer is a one trick as good as it used to be. One tricks are essentially just people who play one champion and that's it. While they may be good at that champion, if it gets banned or picked, they're done with it. So yeah, like you said, it adds a little bit more challenge. Okay, you want to break real quick and hop back in when we're ready to play?
Sure. I think we're just waiting for that good old-fashioned 3-minute spectator delay.
Classic League of Legends. All right, we will see you guys in just a bit. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It looks like we are in game, and we got something interesting happening here. Looks like Kennesaw State is kind of predicting Indiana Tech's invade. And they are 5-stacking into the bottom tri-bush, as you can see right there. And we do see all 5 members of Indiana Tech is also stacked up in the mid lane, maybe looking for someone to overstep their welcome. But it doesn't look like anything's going to happen quite yet. We do still have Indiana Tech just kind of sitting there. Kong is actually walking kind of close. We'll see if this turns into anything. I don't think Indiana Tech sees him quite yet. This is what I'm talking about this Indiana Tech early game. They like to get a little aggressive and get in their opponent's face. Then moving forward into the jungle. Gonna go ahead and just take the Wukong's Raptors, and Wukong is gonna go ahead and walk away into the mid lane and go into the top side of the map. Other than that, doesn't look like too much is gonna happen here. But yeah, but that's why I was talking about these early game invades that Indiana Tech likes to do.
It's a surprisingly quiet start. We're used.
Yeah.
I mean, the invade did happen. You called it. I mean, it was Kennesaw sitting in a bush and us sitting in a bush as well. Nothing happened though. That's not what dies in the first minute, 2 minutes. Bandit Boy gets an early stun.
Yeah, Bandit Boy getting a lot of damage onto this Gwen. Might be looking to get the kill, but Gwen does back off and wastes the ignite on Bandit Boy. Very good trade for him. We do see Wukong is trying to get the counter invade, and it does look like he's getting quite low. Lilia is going in for the kill, flashing for the Wukong. Wukong gets the bow, and Wukong is actually able to get the first blood, and Rise is trying to finish him off. Does able to get the last hit onto the Wukong. We do see a lot of action onto the bot lane here. Ping getting quite low. Oh, and he's going to go ahead and get sniped by the Kaisa. Bo's going to look to take them down on his own, but Bo flashes out, is able to trade the kill and get the kill onto Leona. And it does look like the kill does go out to Ping there. Unfortunately, even though they did trade a kill, Ping is losing a lot of minions under his tower due to Kennesaw able to crash that wave during that fight. So while it may seem it was okay for Indiana Tech, it does actually lose them a lot more than what it seems.
A lot of time to make things back. Using both your bot lane immediately like that is tough, and for it to go immediately like you said on the Kaisa is arguably worse.
Yes, definitely. Kaisa is known for their hyper carry potential, but like you said, it's early. And this Indiana Tech squad makes a lot of magic happen, so they're able to make happen here. It does look like Rise is getting ganked by the Wukong. Wukong is going to be able to help Aurora get the kill onto the Wukong. Onto the Rise, I mean. So Rise is going to go down to the Aurora, but that's okay. Rise was able to get the wave a little push, so nothing too crazy happening there. We do see Renekton E in and E out. Nothing too crazy happening there. Also see Kitu is going for another invade on the Wukong, kind of duking it out with the Wukong, getting the Wukong quite low. Kitu does like to invade a lot, and he does show the audience that he's able to get a lot out of this invade. We do see a fight happening in the bot lane. Bo with a big hook, just getting a little bit of poke damage. They did win that trade overall, which is good news for the Indiana Tech bot lane. Despite the Kaisa being 2-0, they're still able to make trades happen. We do see going in for a gank here. Nothing too much going to happen there. This Gwen is getting quite low in the top lane. Doesn't look like Bandit Boy was walking at. Oh, and we do see Bo getting a hook onto the Leona. Kitu is right there again. Leona's going to go ahead and flash away. Very good for Indiana Tech to get that flash out of the way. Not only does it help them feel like they're not going to get flashed on by the Leona, but now Leona doesn't really have good disengage, so if they're able to catch her out while she is tanky, going to be a little bit easier to kill her.
Not a bad trade at all, to be honest with you. Could have gone for a kill. We'll take it. Definitely slowing down here as we cross 5 minutes.
It does look like right now Kennesaw State has a 1k gold lead. Bo does go in for a hook and is able to hook the Leona, who hooks him right back and gets deep into Indiana Tech territory. Once again, nothing too crazy going to happen there. But you see Renekton. Renekton's on the Gwen side of the map. They both hit level 6. Renekton's going in with his ult. Gwen is also going to ult, but Renekton is getting Gwen quite low, but Gwen's healing is just too much, and Wukong's able to come back in and clean the kill. Oh, Bandit Boy so close. Wow, that just shows the power, what I was mentioning earlier right there. Gwen and Renekton are both able to just kind of fight for a long time due to the healing that they have. Looks like both of them are also running Conquer, which is a rune that essentially makes you more powerful and heals you the longer that you are fighting. So that's kind of what we saw in play there. That's why Gwen was able to live through all the damage that Bandit Boy was doing.
Defense there for Bandit Boy. Again, it's early. You mentioned the gold lead now up to little over 1,000. The Warriors do look like they're going to get first strike here, which is a step in the right direction.
Yes,
unchallenged.
We did see the Wukong up in the top lane when Gwen and Bandit Boy were duking it out. So that's likely why Indiana Tech made the call to get this dragon, because to be seen. We do see the Kennesaw support Leona up in the top lane right now, maybe looking to get a play on to Bandit Boy. Bandit Boy doesn't know here, and Leona's text flashing over the wall. Nothing gonna come of it though, due to Renekton's a bit. Oh man, okay, so Leona is actually going in under the tower. That was a little dangerous on Leona, but I didn't mention, I actually just realized is that Kennesaw State actually sent their bot lane up to the top lane. So that is why I thought that Kaisa was Gwen this whole time. And it does look like Indiana Tech is also going to trade lanes with their top laners. So they're going to go ahead and send Renekton and Gwen down to the bot lane. Nothing really too crazy about that. I believe the reason that they're doing that is to have advantage in the top side of the map when the next objective spawns. State is taking next jungle currently. Right now, posture towards the top side of the map where Kennesaw State is at. I don't think he quite knows that they're in the jungle or what he's. Aurora ulting onto the Rise is able to get him quite low, but not able to get a kill on him. They did actually use an Aurora ult when objective is spawning in right now, so I'm curious to see how this is going to look. We do see the two top laners fighting, duking it out right now, but even more importantly, we had a huge fight happening at the Void Grubs. We do see Bo picking up a kill onto Leona. Kaisa, Kaisa is fully stacked, getting a double kill. All of Indiana Tech is running for their lives. They are very low. Triple kill for the Kaisa. Unfortunately for Indiana Tech, that Kaisa was in the fight for very long, able to stack her lethal tempo and make her a crazy powerful threat that Indiana Tech is not able to shut down.
And this one might start getting away from the Warriors here early on. And we're only 9 minutes in. There's a long way to go, but
5-0 Kaisa is definitely scary.
That's dangerous.
Very dangerous. We do see K2's quite low in his jungle. Wukong's kind of messing with him. Bo flashes onto the Wukong. Oh, it takes the shutdown, unfortunately. Good pick onto the Wukong, at least for Indiana Tech. Nothing too crazy happening on the map right now. We do see Aurora's top lane now, going back towards the mid lane. Indiana Tech has 3 members of their team in the top side right now. Curious to see what they're going to try to do here. Gwen is going back up to the top lane, so it's just going to be her. They could look to go dive this Gwen potentially. Gwen is in a little bit of a vulnerable position here, trying to get to her tier 1 tower, but 3 members of Indiana Tech are keeping her for doing that. Let's see. It looks like Kennesaw State's going to opt to do the same sort of thing to the Renekton. Let's see if that's what they end up doing. Yep, we do see Kennesaw State is looking for that Renekton. Maybe looking to dive. The Leona is able to get the hook on the Renekton. Renekton does eat away, but this is putting him in a very vulnerable spot. However, Luca is caught out in our jungle. Leona flash stuns him with the Wukong also knocking him up. He is not going to be able to get away from this one. The kill going over to Aurora. Unfortunately, Luca got very caught out there trying to potentially maybe save his top laner, but nothing was able to come to that. We do see the Aurora TPing up top to respond to the Sivir pushing our tier 1 tower. There's also a lot going on in our jungle right now. We do see this Wukong is continuing to harass K2. It's normally the other way around. We see K2 harassing their jungle. Renekton going to be quite low. Kaisa's going to go ult in. Kaisa is once again just going to be able to start stacking that lethal tempo. We do see Bo with another kill. Kaisa is full HP double kill. We do. Oh, it does look like Kitu was able to get a kill, and it is right now a 2v1 versus the Kaisa. Triple kill of the Kaisa, but Sivir does get the shutdown onto Kaisa. A lot of gold onto the Sivir. While that Kaisa did get a triple kill, that's at least a little bit of redemption for the Indiana Tech ADC as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big bounce back. That's a big bounce back in a big way right there. It's a good fight for, I mean, like you said,
It was a bloody fight.
8-1 at 11 minutes is
A little scary.
that's mean.
Very mean.
That's mean. But to finally get one back is big. We'll see how things turn around here for the Warriors as the gold lead down to roughly 1.5K. What is this? What was Leona doing there?
I guess just hanging out.
Yeah, not sure what we're doing here.
Maybe a little bored after a bloody fight like that, just looking for something to do. Who knows?
Deep breath. Deep breath.
All right, so we do see the Warriors are posturing to take Dragon, and Kennesaw State is also going to send 4 for Dragon. It does look like Gwen does have TP advantage, and Bandaboy is actually getting quite low.
Oh, no.
Goes down to the Gwen. Unfortunately, Gwen just kind of had a surprising amount of damage. Luckily, Indiana Tech is able to secure the Dragon. It does look like Kennesaw State is actually pushing the mid lane and maybe getting a little bit of advantage for the next objective. We'll see what they decide to do here. I didn't see what happened to the Wukong, but he is quite low, so that's likely why Indiana Tech was able to get the Dragon quite easily. Sounds like they were able to chunk the Wukong. Wukong, once again, invading Kitu. This is not something Indiana Tech is used to, getting invaded. They're usually the ones who like to do the invading, but this has not been the case this game.
I'm very, very used to seeing Kitu spend his, 2-3 games every single week harassing the enemy jungle and making them wish that they didn't wake up or just go back to bed.
And that's usually how it goes.
It's the script is flipped. We got to dive here on the bot lane.
We got a dive coming out. Aurora going to go ahead and ult in. However, she is just CC'd and not able to get anywhere. I mean, that combo with Nautilus and a Rise stun, it's going to be hard for anyone to get out of there. 1 kill going on to Indiana Tech. Not sure if that was a shutdown or not, but regardless, it's good for Indiana Tech to get what they can get right now.
Feels like things are stabilizing a little bit here.
Yes, a little bit. While the Kaisa is the strongest member of Kennesaw State, even though her scoreline doesn't show it, I believe Gwen is going to be an enormous threat this game. Just because that champ is just kind of OP and currently sitting on 1 item. Once that champ starts getting a lot of items, I mean, you're already seeing the damage that Gwen's pumping out. It's kind of ridiculous. So just be on the lookout for that, Indiana Tech. You don't want to get caught off guard with the Gwen damage.
So as we move forward, the gold lead still, it's about the same. It's about the same. Warriors in about 25K. Actually, I think it's favoring Kennesaw State a little bit more than the last time we checked in. But
yep, just a little bit more, it looks like.
We're only 15 minutes in. It's been, I mean, how many big fights have we seen now? Like
oh my
3
gosh.
or 4? It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. There's been fights everywhere.
That's what makes it fun casting for Indiana Tech, is they like to fight.
Drake up at about 2 minutes, it looks. Waiting for this wave to crash.
That is one thing Indiana Tech does have the lead on, is they have 2 dragons in their corner right now. If they're able to get this next one, they'll be a soul point, which gives them a very, very nice buff. It's going to be Ocean Soul this time, which gives them excess healing and regeneration. Say Indiana Tech gets in a huge team fight, loses no one and backs off, they're able to just heal all of the damage they just took from the team fight and go right back in. So that's the advantage of having Ocean Soul. If Indiana Tech's able to do that, that could be a real game changer there. Another game changer that we might be looking at here soon is the Otacon. I actually don't see the Otacon timer on the spectator. So I think that comes in at 20 minutes. Otacon's a very, very nice buff that Indiana Tech could also go for. We do see Gwen ulting at the Rise. It misses the first bunch, hits the second bunch. Looks like we went away to fight because there's an even bigger fight happening. Looks like Leona ulted in. It is going to go down quite quickly. We do see Aurora ulting in. Wukong getting quite low. Oh man, but Bandaboy also gets bursted down. There's a lot going on right there. A lot of just high value damage. It looks like Kitu flashes but misses the Q. Ping going for the kill on the Kaisa. We do see Aurora in the top side. Doesn't get the kill onto Kitu, almost kills Bo, but is gonna go down to Luca, who miraculously showed up for that fight. It also looks like Luca might have killed the Gwen in that bottom lane fight too, so that's probably why he was able to get a teleport off to help Indiana Tech wrap up the fight in the top side as well. Big play for Luca for taking down that Gwen and helping out in that top side fight.
And just like that, the gold deficit that we were talking about around 2K a moment ago, less than 1,000.
Oh my gosh.
That is and Luca gets out.
Luca gets out. Okay, so not only did Gwen go down to Luca and Luca was able to teleport, Gwen just wasted her TP to get to that fight again and was just too late and ended up amounting for nothing. So Indiana Tech, Kennesaw State no longer has a TP advantage on the Gwen. Now that teleport was way more worth it for the Rise. All right, looks like there is a lot of posturing in the bot lane right now. Bandit Boy is in a very bad spot right now. All sides are covered. He does flash in, is able to get the E away, but it's still going to go down to the Kaisa. Leona whiffs her ult, luckily. Otherwise, that might have been Kitu going down as well. Kitu is going to go ahead and ult and get Sleepy onto the Aurora, and Leona. Bo is going to get the ult onto Kaisa, and Kaisa goes down immediately. Luca just pumping the damage. We just see Ping in the back with his lethal tempo pumping out the damage as well. Indiana Tech going to take 4-4-1. What a fight from Indiana Tech. There was a lot going on there that Indiana Tech did so well doing. Kind of stacking CC onto the carry. Kitu stacking some Sleepy onto the Aurora and Leona. Pretty much every single one of Kennesaw's members was CC or crowd control to the point where they couldn't really do anything but just take Rise's damage and let Sivir stack onto them so that way Sivir could get the lethal tempo. Oh, it looks like we're doing a little bit of drifting, and he is able to successfully hit the tier 1 tower. Luca, great driving.
So 4 for 1. The tower back for Kennesaw. We get 2. I'm no mathematician, Raid Boss. But I'd say that's... Oh, and we're going to get the third soul.
All right.
As well.
Yep. Indiana Tech is just turning this game around.
I'm no mathematician, but I'd say that's pretty good return on investment.
Oh yes, very much so. Third dragon, meaning we only need one more dragon for our Ocean Soul, and also just having a terrific team fight, completely changing the gold lead. Now it is Indiana Tech with the 1K gold lead. The Ping fighting the Kaisa and just getting shredded. Unfortunately, not even close. That's going to give Kaisa a little bit of shutdown gold. That might give Kaisa enough for her third item, which is when ADCs start to look much stronger. Ping is also looking towards his third item as well. So this is kind of where ADCs, this is why they're called attack damage carries, because once they get these items, they're the ones that are going to be pumping out the damage.
Gonna make a comment about how starting 8-1-1 and the Kaisa has still very strong. Obviously, you just saw how quickly Ping just his health bar just got deleted.
We do have a fight going on.
Speaking of health bars being deleted,
yep, Luca is and Kitu are just able to delete the Wukong out of the fight. And it does look like Kaisa's just... Man, Luca is pumping out damage when he has the opportunity to. Triple kill to Luca. Holy cow, this guy is going absolutely insane at this game. And you know what's funny? I went to dinner with these guys earlier, and they were all being like, Luca, you're so bad. Luca, what the heck are you doing? You can't even carry games. Luca is carrying the absolute crap out of this game right now. Go Luca. I love to see it, especially on one of my favorite champs. Okay, so we had a lot going on while I was monologuing there. It does look like Gwen was able to take down Kitu in the jungle, but Indiana Tech able to trade back and get the Gwen down.
So I feel like every time I talk, I provide an update on the gold. Because I'm like an Iron 2, and that's about the only thing I can see that actually I know is valuable. Gold update, the Warriors are ahead by about 100. Raid Boss.
Yep, pretty much even across the board.
Yeah.
Yo, I want to give a shout out to KR Switch for subscribing to the stream. Thank you, KR Switch. Shout out to you, my friend. Appreciate it. I believe if you want, I think a subscribe gets you also a Duolingo membership. I don't know exactly how that works. I'm be honest with you. I don't exactly know how we got Duolingo drops on the screen.
But we loaded up the stream and we were kind of memeing about it a little bit. That Duolingo drops are available, so if
so just shout out you, Swish. Appreciate you.
Go learn yourself a second language for all of 2 weeks till the motivation goes away, and then you'll remember it exists.
Exactly how my experience with that went.
And then you'll look back 2 years later and go, oh, I forgot that app existed.
Yep. Okay, so I want to point out some item differences here. Currently, Rise is almost on his Rabadon's death cap for third item versus Aurora's only 2 items. Wukong only has 1 item versus Kitu's 2 items. Really, the only person who has an item lead at this point is the Kaisa over Sivir, maybe just by a little bit. But the big item differential right now is the top lane. Gwen at 2 items, Renekton only at 1. So that Renekton is kind of at this point just a meat shield, able to kind of be a frontline tank for his team. He didn't exactly build that way, but you don't kind of expect yourself to go 0-5 until that already happens, you know?
Yeah, I don't think anyone really plans to go 0-5 22 minutes into the game.
But it happens. We've seen Bandit Boy be placed into several unfortunate situations.
If you don't see me for another stream again, it's not related to what I just said whatsoever. I promise, guys. I promise. Big ticket on the board here in about a minute. The next Drake is 57 seconds.
Sorry, Bub,
away.
but your lack of experience is showing, because right now an Otacon fight is going out. Otacon is a huge objective. We do see Indiana Tech is TPing in. So is Kennesaw State. This is going to be a 5v5 fight. We do see a lot of ults come out. We do see a lot of people getting ult. Aurora able to get a huge ult onto Indiana Tech. 2 members of Indiana Tech down versus 1 of Kennesaw State. We see the Gwen power that I was talking about earlier. Ping able to take her down using his superior kiting skills. We do see Ping and Luca are still up. Luca able to finish off the Aurora, making him legendary. Indiana Tech looks like comes out tied. I didn't even see the Wukong, but he must have gotten away. Wow, what a fight though. That was a big 5v5 fight. We saw a lot of ults kind of come out. Aurora on Kennesaw State had a huge ult onto Indiana Tech, but she's so far behind at this point that it didn't really amount to anything. Aurora's kind of like that bursty mage champ, so if she's not really able to one-shot someone, she kind of becomes a little bit useless after that fact. So Rise actually is really showing his strength here, because he's kind of like almost a tanky mage with this Rod of Ages and Seraph's Embrace. And we do see Rise utilizing his ult to TP to drag. This is going to be Indiana Tech's soul that I mentioned earlier. If Indiana Tech is able to get this soul, it is going to be very huge. We just see Wukong. Wukong gets the steal, unfortunately. And it does look like, because of Wukong stealing, it almost baits Kennesaw State into fighting. And Indiana Tech is just going to take down 3 members of Kennesaw State. While they don't get the soul, it almost is worth it for them, because they just win another fight, making the gold lead 1,000 once more. This has just been bouncing back and forth again.
And now I think the objective is clear. They're going straight up towards the top. I think the next 20 seconds, Baron, I think, is the next idea. Unless, again, I get called out for lack of experience again, but we'll see. Still 10 seconds to go. Clearing out the jungle here as the respawns start to come out. Baron about to spawn, and that's exactly where they're going.
Good job, Bub. You got it.
Sweet. Yep. I knew something today, folks. I did predict something correctly when it came to League of Legends.
You did great, Bub.
I've achieved at least one life goal today. Baron about halfway gone. I don't even think Kennesaw State's going to challenge us. No, they're not. That is, so they get they prevent Soul. They lose 3. And then they give up Baron as well.
Yeah, not exactly worth it for Kennesaw. They delay the soul, but I mean, there's going to be another dragon in 3 minutes if Indiana Tech is strong enough anyway to take it. That steal was for nothing. While it was a very clutch steal, didn't really do anything for Kennesaw State. Indiana Tech with a Baron. Baron's a very strong buff that gives to the whole team, makes sieging towers very easy. As you can see, those minions are empowered making it so that way they do more damage to the towers. Indiana Tech, they also have empowered bat recalls, which makes it so that way they can recall to base a lot quicker than what they usually can. Essentially, just making them able to have better tempo over Kennesaw State at this point. That's kind of like what Baron Buff does, plus a little bit of gold as well.
Sure what they're looking for here, unless they're just looking for a play in the jungle for maybe anyone that could be there. Do they know the Gwen's here?
They might. Looks like right now they're just trying to posture towards topside, get down that tier 1 tower, and maybe move forward into tier 2. We do see 4 members of Kennesaw State in the bot lane. They're starting to panic. As you can see on the mini map, they're like, oh crap, we see 4 members of Indiana Tech on the top side. We need to respond to this. They are so slow to respond that they use 2 towers instantly. Let's see if Indiana Tech decides to go for more. This is where I mentioned that recall. They're able to get out of there just like that. Now they're probably going to go for something maybe in the mid lane or the bot lane. What they do, I don't know, but that just kind of shows the power of Baron Buff's recall.
So you were on this team last year. Obviously, very, very different team from last year. You played with Ping. You played with Bo. Kijaruk and Luca, both new to the team, as we've talked about. Do you have any idea on maybe what you would be thinking in this situation right now?
Well, I think that top play, honestly, was exactly what I would be looking to do. Forget that, though. Looks like we got to fight Wukong. Instantly dead. My gosh. And Bo is able to... instantly dead. Bo able to get the hook off. Looks like Nautilus was able to get the ult off on the Kaisa. Or that's Aurora, actually. Oh, my gosh. And triple kill for Ping. Not even close. That's just going to probably wrap this game up. Indiana Tech still has their Baron buff. Ace for Indiana Tech. What a... I mean, that didn't even look close, Bub.
I think they answered your question before you had a chance to answer it. That was... I asked you what you might be thinking here. The Warriors said one word, end.
Yep, they said end, and that's exactly what they're going to look to do here. This whole game was close, and that last fight wasn't even close. So, very anticlimactic end to this game, but great ending nonetheless for Indiana Tech.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic turn. They faced some adversity in the beginning. From beyond, 20 minutes or so? Ping's already gone. Bo's already gone. The game's over, and they've already left the seats.
They live life fast.
We're breaking the fourth wall. That's the 3-minute spectator delay for you folks.
Though.
But, yeah, I mean... from 20 minutes on, we were talking about how scary that Kaisa and that Gwen were, and then they weren't.
Didn't even matter, yep. Whether that was Kennesaw making mistakes or Indiana Tech just being smarter and capitalizing on their mistakes, it just ended up going in Indiana Tech's favor, and love to see it.
Absolutely. Well, that's only one. It's best of 3, you need 2. And remember, Fearless, so those 10 gems you just saw. Won't see him again, at least tonight. But we'll be back for Game 2 in just a little bit. Players are obviously going to take a second to walk around because they just played League for 30 minutes or so. Got to stretch the legs.
Exhausting, by the way.
I'm sure. I can't speak to that experience. You can. But you also should probably go take a walk, get some water, maybe, touch some grass, and then get right back here. Because we got Game 2 coming at you here in just a moment. Don't go far. See you in just a bit.
Welcome back, everyone. How's everyone doing? What a Game 1 from Indiana Tech. At the beginning, it kind of looked a little grim, but Indiana Tech was able to bring it back and make it look like it wasn't even a close game after all. Well, what were your thoughts on the game?
It felt like a tale of 2 games. We talked about in the beginning how we were kind of shocked a little bit because we talked about how Kitarukin, we're used to seeing him bully everyone, not even just the jungler, literally everyone else, sometimes his own team. And we didn't see that. And then all of a sudden we did. And then it never stopped. And then it just felt like Kennesaw State just kept throwing themselves into death because they kind of didn't have any other options at that point. Especially really, when the Baron happened.
Not really. I would say, a lot of the plays were made actually by Bo getting a clutch hook in. So shout out to Bo there for kind of being able to start all the fights and get picks off. We are in draft right now. It doesn't look like Indiana Tech is going for similar bans to last time, getting the Xin Zhao and Kha'Zix out. And this time getting a Jinx out, who's just a very good team fighting ADC. And Kennesaw State opting for also similar bans, Kiana and Silas, but we're also seeing a Syndra ban, which is very interesting. That's not a champion I've seen Luca play a ton of, so curious why they banned that, but there must be a good reason for. Indiana Tech is going to go ahead and lock in the AP carry Ziggs. That's going to probably be in the hands of Ping. Ping loves his Ziggs. It's essentially just a character that throws bombs from very far away, so can kind of pump out damage from across the screen, I should say. Kennesaw State is going to lock in the Tristana here. Going to be interesting to see if that's either mid or ADC. If it's ADC, I feel like Ziggs shouldn't have too big of a problem. Tristana's main thing is that she can jump all over the place, but Ziggs has a bomb that can kind of knock her out of that jump, so curious to see again if that Tristana is locked into Ziggs for a reason, or if it's going to be Kennesaw State's mid laner playing that Tristana. And we actually banned Alistar first phase last time. This time we didn't ban it, and it is locked in with Indiana Tech responding with a Janna pick. Never seen Bo play Janna before. I've only ever seen him play Ooga Booga Hook Champs, and this is not exactly one of those, so Ziggs Janna, though,
might be about as far as it gets from that descriptor. I'm not even trying to repeat what you said. That's, oh my god.
This Ziggs Janna lane is going to be interesting, though, because those are both kind of champions that are able to harass the enemy laners. So we'll see kind of what that looks like for Indiana Tech. Kitu gonna lock in this Pantheon potentially. I actually saw recently that Pantheon was receiving a buff, making him stronger, so I'm curious to see if that is in effect or not. If so, Kitu might have a little bit of a heyday here.
Looking back at last game as well while the rest of this draft is going, you were talking about Luca last game, right? And how they were kind of dunking on him a little bit about not being able to carry games. Yeah. How about to the tune of 10, 3, and 13?
Wow.
That's pretty
Luka
good.
Just kind of proving his haters wrong. Unfortunately, his haters are his teammates, so
yeah,
love to see it, Luca.
Well, that's a team leading 7.67 KDA in game one.
Pick we have here, Hecarim. You don't see this champion every day. Hyper carry solo queue champion, in my opinion. Don't see him really ever in team play, so I'm very excited to see how this plays out for Kennesaw. Hecarim, let me tell you, he is prone to getting invaded. And you know what Kitu likes to do?
That sounds like a bad omen for Kennesaw State to me.
I am very excited to see how this goes for him. Second phase ban is going to start off with a Gragas and a Garen. Looks like Indiana Tech banning the Garen. Another one of my favorite champions. Can't believe they're banning him. But I can also understand that Garen's kind of OP.
No Demacia today.
No Demacia today. No spinning to win. And then Kennesaw State banning the Gragas again. Curious to see if they're going to leave the Mbessa open today. What is this last ban going to be? A Galio ban. Interesting. The Galio would fit really well into Indiana Tech's comp right now, so that would probably make sense why they banned it. And Indiana Tech's actually banning the Mbessa. Not looking to pick that for Bandit Boy, but looking to just block it from Kennesaw. So I am curious if Kennesaw's top laner plays that champion. What this second phase pick is gonna be. This pick is the pick that's gonna get countered by Indiana Tech, and it's gonna be Aubrey. Very hard champion to counter. Very, very eager to see what Luca decides to play into the Aubrey. But that does also mean that Tristana's gonna be in the bot lane.
Mentioned the Ziggs. Ooh. Not too many issues against Tristana as well, so
hopefully not, as long as he's placing his bombs where they need to be. Cassiopeia is going to be the first time I see Luca play this champ. Talia, big fan of that.
We're just
champ.
Going everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
We're going everywhere.
Okay. And we lock in Cassante for Bandit Boy instead. Probably just giving Luca more time to figure out who he wants to play. He has a lot of options here. Victor being hovered, Vigar being hovered. Who knows what this guy's going to play? He's just hovering any mid-chain.
Spin the wheel
right now.
Spin the wheel.
And
Vygar.
Interesting. I don't know why he picked that, but I am eager to see why he did. Vygar is a burst mage who kind of just gets more powerful as the game goes along. He has a passive that ultimately gives him more ability power when he's able to stack it on minions or champions just by hitting them. So the longer the game goes, the more powerful Vygar is going to get.
All I know about Vygar is them cages be mean. I hate them cages.
That is also a good point, Bub. Those cages, they're just basically a big zone that enemies can't enter. You'll probably, if you don't know much about Vygar, you'll see what we mean.
You'll never forget once you get trapped in one, trust me.
Yep.
It's like PTSD once you actually get hit by it.
And Kennesaw State actually locks in Vladimir for their last pick, probably to counter the Cassante. We'll see kind of how that plays out. A lot of carry potential for Kennesaw State, but in my opinion, like, none of the champs they picked really mesh well together. While Indiana Tech has a team that meshes very well together. So excited to see what Kennesaw State's plan is right now. Guess we'll see once we are in game. I think Indiana Tech's big threat right now is the amount of CC they have. They have, like we were saying, they have the Vygar cage. They have the Pantheon point and click stun. They have Cassante, who's able to not only have a lot of CC with his W, but also a lot of damage. That's kind of the big complaint in the League community. Cassante is a tank. Cassante has a lot of CC. Cassante does a lot of damage. He just does everything. So we'll see if Bandit Boy is able to kind of utilize that in this game, in this draft. Curious if Vladimir was picked to counter Cassante or why he was picked. So I guess we'll see how that lane goes for Bandit Boy.
Well, if there's one thing, the Warriors asked a lot of questions for Kennesaw coming out of game one. We'll see if Kennesaw's got some answers leading into game two. We've got the 3-minute spectate delay to get through, which means we've got 3 minutes to just kind of sit here and chill. And for you guys at home, again, 3 minutes to grab some water, touch some grass if you didn't. Grass, be back here in 3 minutes. I don't know what's with me and touching grass all of a sudden.
You like touching grass, apparently.
I don't know. It's I feel like I'm in the wrong...
Because you're a Rocket League player.
That's also weird for a Rocket League player to say. Something's off. Something's off. I don't know. Regardless, questions asked for Kennesaw State. Will they answer them? We're going to find out here soon. We'll be back for game number 2 in just a moment.
All right, we are back, and I am just already trying to get ready for an Indiana Tech invade, but not today. Looks like both teams are opting to 5 points, which is essentially standing on all entry points of the map. This is the first time in a game I've seen Indiana Tech not invade, and I have a feeling they're going to try and pull something cheeky while they know that there's a 5-point happening. We'll see if they decide to end up doing that. But yeah, this 5-point is kind of just a safe way for teams to kind of make sure no one's walking into their jungle. So yeah, that's essentially why they're doing that.
They're actually being considerate of production and not getting a kill within the first 30 seconds before we can even get into the game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very rare thing for this Indiana Tech team.
They maybe they do actually realize we exist, guys. Maybe they do. No, they know we exist. I swear they like us, guys. I swear. And we don't annoy them with having them turn their cameras on. That's not a thing. It's not real. Jared saved me before I make a bigger idiot out of myself.
Okay. So nothing really too crazy happening in this game right now. Just some poking happening. I mentioned earlier that this Janna and Ziggs combo that Indiana Tech is playing is going to be it's going to essentially harass the ADC, which you see right there. Kennesaw State ADC is already half HP, while Bo and Ping are very healthy. Also have plenty of mana. It's not like they even utilized much mana either. Another thing I want to point out, of course, K2 is invading the enemy jungle. He is currently in Heckram's jungle, taking the Gromp and probably the blue buff shortly after. We do see Kennesaw State is going to get level 2 here. Indiana Tech going to back up before they can do anything with that level 2 advantage. Indiana Tech now hitting level 2, essentially alleviating that threat.
I'm just waiting for Kitu to do anything with his position in the jungle.
Yeah,
the
he's got a
Hecarim
great
is
position right now. Kitu went ahead and took everything and is backing off, which is horrible for a Hecarim player to see this. We do see Tristana jumping in on Bo, getting the bomb off. That's going to do a good amount of damage, but Tristana is also getting low. Indiana Tech not able to make anything. Almost. Oh my gosh. Right when I was saying that, we see a bunch of poke come around of this Tristana, getting her very low. Let's see if they let her back out of the lane, and they do. This is a great advantage for Indiana Tech, though, because right now Tristana is missing out on gold and experience. We do see Kitu taking his own jungle after taking the Hecarim's jungle, and Hecarim is just hopeless. He's like, where's my jungle? This is why I say Hecarim is a strange pick. Hecarim relies on the ability to full clear his jungle to get strong, and he is not able to do that. Kitu denied him the ability to do that, making Hecarim essentially homeless right now. And Kitu is just so... He's just loving his position right now. It does look like Kitu is actually sneaking into the bot lane bush. And Alistar flashes in. This is a perfect opportunity for Kitu to take advantage of this. Yep, and that's going to be Alistar going down. We saw him flash in, is ultimately sealing his death because Kitu was there for that flash in.
I just want to point out, this entire time that this Hecarim has... he's still in the same spot doing nothing, by the way.
Yep.
The Warriors have been pinging...
Oh my gosh, is he going to stop his back too? Unfortunately, it doesn't quite stop his back.
The Warriors have been pinging him the entire time, from the moment he crossed river into the Warrior jungle. I'm sorry, illegal? Hello? What was that?
That is what I call... was a bad play. Not sure what that Tristana was thinking. I will give the Tristana credit. The Ziggs was out of mana and probably thought the Janna backed, but the instant that... Oh, I guess... Okay, that's annoying. Alistar to stop the Ziggs back. But anyways, Janna came and kind of surprised the...
there's the cage.
The Ziggs, or the Tristana. And yeah, that was the cage that we were talking about earlier, as Bub just mentioned. That's the big old cage that if you touch it, you freeze for a second.
I feel like it gets... I don't know. My inexperience is about to show. I feel like that cage gets larger as the game goes along. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't. But
okay.
I think
maybe I'm just traumatized.
I think if it did, then that would be quite possibly the worst thing League has ever released.
Okay, maybe I'm just traumatized then. We'll just roll with that.
We do see Bandit Boy getting quite low and out of mana. He doesn't have Flash. He only has Ghost, so he's going to go down to the Vladimir with the assist going on to the Hecarim as well, making it a 2-1. Indiana Tech, though, is leading so far on the gold graph by almost 1,000 gold. Most of that gold is probably onto Kitu, showing almost double Hecarim's farm. Like I said, Hecarim, he's in despair right now because Kitu stole all his farm. And like you mentioned, Bub, Hecarim was just kind of sitting doing nothing for a good solid 2 minutes while Kitu was getting more gold. He was helping out the bot lane, get the first blood, all that kind of stuff.
I like to imagine when the Warriors were just pinging him constantly, it was effectively just their version of just pointing and laughing the entire time.
Much.
But yeah, I mean, it's a completely different start from what we saw in Game 1. This is a totally different feel. This is what we are used to seeing out of the Warriors. Hello, this is dangerous, actually, but Kitu's on his way up, and I do not think Kennesaw knows. I don't think they're going to get anything out of this unless Kitu has something I'm not aware of.
They won't be able to get the Alistar, but getting that Tristana was good. Trading the support for ADC is usually worth it in pretty much any scenario. That's going to get a lot of gold onto our Ziggs. That, like I said, in Champion Select, that is the champion that's able to kind of pump out damage from far away, so it's going to be very useful for Indiana Tech. We do see Luca getting quite low. Ahri ulting in, but Luca is able to do a lot of damage onto Ahri. Luca did have that ult ready. Not sure if he had enough mana to cast it, but that was very close. Ahri could have definitely gone down there, but like I said, I think that Luca probably didn't have enough mana to cast it. A little bit of brawling happening in the top lane. Bandit Boy is building that item that gives a lot of MR. So Vladimir is essentially going to do no damage to him here soon. He's just going to kind of just be an annoyance.
First drag.
Getting the first dragon. He is in a little bit of a hard place here, but Bo's going to be here to back him up. We also see that Ziggs from far away able to just throw bombs at the Tristana. Tristana is able to get the fully stacked lethal tempo, but it doesn't matter. They are going to look to finish off this Alistar. And the bomb barely misses, and they are unable to finish off the Alistar, unfortunately. But overall, they get the Drake. They could have gotten a kill, but no big deal that they didn't. You hear that Void Grubs have spawned in. We see Hecarim is on them right now, likely due to the fact that their top laner has a little bit of prio over the Cassante currently. It does look like NECC is moving up, though. Vigar is able to get the prio over Ahri, and we do see Janna and Pantheon is going to ult in, going to steal one of those Void Grubs, and oh, wow, what a great flash from Kitu. We did see Hecarim try to ult out, but Kitu able to kind of predict that ult, flash, and get the last spear that he needed to go ahead and finish off the Hecarim and also get 2 Void Grubs.
This poor Hecarim, man. I mean, he loses his farm immediately, sits in the river wondering what do you do? He's going through our jungle trying to find anything he can possibly do. He finally finds Void Grubs, and then he loses those too.
Yep. Oh, and Alistar actually just failed his combo. Bo's going to look to finish off the Tristana. This is what I was talking about. IT is utilizing this harassment bot lane to just completely poke out the Tristana, and now the Alistar. Bo's just going to finish both of them off. Oh, maybe. Yep, does look like Alistar's unfortunately going to get away, but that was just what I was mentioning earlier. They are just selecting this bot lane to be annoying and to harass it. Bo might be a little too annoying, though. However, he's going to knock up the Alistar, walking over towards his teammate Ping. Ping is just kind of running away. He doesn't really want anything to do with that. That is a Hecarim ghosted, and who's going to probably run Ping down here. Let's see if he's able to finish off Ping. Ping does flash. Hecarim is going for the dive, and Ping is... Oh, and it's a 1-for-1, but Ping almost outplayed that to where he wouldn't have died, and he would have gotten the kill on the Hecarim. Almost there. We do see Ahri ulting in onto Luca. Misses the charm, though. That is the key to Ahri being able to kill Luca, and she missed it. Luca's now going to go ahead and chase her down. And but Ahri fails the flash, and Luca's able to finish her off. Wow, very unfortunate for the Ahri to fail the flash there. Yeah, like I said, the instant that Ahri missed the charm, she should just be running away, because Vigar is going to run her down and just poke her out.
Wow. I mean, it kind of makes up for the Bo going in maybe a little too deep. You mentioned Ooga Booga.
Yep, Ooga Booga mentality.
Was a little.
So maybe Janna is a good character for him, because she can just kind of fly around. What's neat about that character is her passive just basically gives her a lot of move speed, so she can just fly around wherever she wants and be annoying. All right, so some item finishes here. Looks like Hecarim has finished his item. We see Kitu has finished his item as well. We see Ziggs has finished his item. The 0-3 Tristana doesn't even look like she's close to her item, so there's a clear gold lead in the bot lane currently.
I'd also like to bring your attention to the CS diff that's going on in the bot lane here at about 11 minutes.
We also see one in the mid lane as well. 100 to 88 and 78 versus 52. That's significant right there. Alistar going in. He's going to go ahead and get the stun on the Ziggs, but takes the tower shot. Ziggs getting him quite low. Not really able to finish him off. Nothing too crazy happening there. But that was a very ambitious engage from Alistar. We do see Bandit Boy going in a little bit on Vladimir. Nothing going to happen there. Oh, and we see the Alistar Hex flash in with an ult. Bo getting quite low, but not going to go down. Oh my gosh, Tristana might go down to some minions. Does not due to the heal. We see Hecarim coming in with an ult. Oh, and Bo just knocks him up, and that ult ends up amounting to nothing. This is the power of the Janna. Basically the best disengaged champ you've ever seen in your life. We do see Kitaruk ulting in. He's going to look to kill the Alistar. We do see Ziggs is able to cancel the Tristana back. Oh my gosh, and it looks like
everywhere.
Luca is also getting a solo kill onto Ari. Bub, you mentioned that this game is looking wildly different than game one, and you are 100% correct. Indiana Tech is just taking the lead so strong this game.
It's happening everywhere. I mean,
oh my gosh, and Luca's gonna. The Heckram's engaging onto a Luca, kind of a healthy Luca, honestly, but he does not have ult, so we'll see if he's able to get away from this Heckram. Yep, Heckram's going to have to back off and just lose basically all of his HP for nothing.
That was a big fight in the bot lane that Kennesaw State went for. And by the way, Bandit Boy is also getting some good damage in here in the top lane. Unfortunately, Vladimir is, he's Vladimir, and he just heals it off immediately because thanks, Riot. It's a big fight in the bot lane that Kennesaw State engages on first. Doesn't work because Jan is comical at best and comical at worst as well. And then Kitarukin just goes, all right, it's my turn. And they get two in the bot lane at the same time. They get one in the top. It's just happening everywhere. Every fight, every direction, I guess except for the top lane. But it really doesn't matter if you're winning literally everywhere else.
Yep, and you're exactly right there. And we got to see kind of the power of locking in the Pantheon is just having that ultimate that can go like basically across the map. While Heckram was there first, it just didn't even matter because Kitu can just be like, oh, I am across the map, but I'll be there shortly. And he just matches the counter gank and able to take down, I believe it was all three members of Kennesaw State. Not like Indiana Tech was even in a bad position when Kitu came either. They
just weren't prepared for the Pantheon ult.
Nope, definitely. Especially after being poked out by Ping on the Ziggs. Here we see IT Bo stepping up. Tristana going to jump out, and oh my gosh, Luca is pumping out so much damage. Gonna go ahead and go away from that. It looks like Bandit Boy's a little bit of a pickle here, but he's Cassante, he's ghosted, he's gonna be able to get away just fine. And oh my lord, this Indiana Tech squad is just pumping out so much damage on their carries. Ziggs with these bombs, Vigar with his whatever projectiles. Oh my gosh, and Cassante is gonna get a good ult off onto the Vladimir, but meanwhile, in the bot lane, we see a Heckram ult in, and Alistar also flashes on Bo. Tristana jumped in and not able to get out. It does look like Kitarukin is gonna ult into the fight, flashing on the Heckram, does able to get the stun, and is able to finish him off. I was looking a little scary if Kitu didn't de-aggro the tower, that he might have gone down there, but that just shows like the little bit of micro you can do in this game. He knew like, oh, this tower is going to do a lot of damage. Let me de-aggro and finish the Heckram off that way rather than staying under tower and continuing to take tower shots.
This game has officially gotten so far out of hand. I mean, we mentioned this is happening everywhere. The Warriors are systematically tearing apart Kennesaw State at this point. There's objective bounties on the board. I mean, we are above we're pushing 5K
almost 5K
now?
Already, and it's 15 minutes in.
Yeah, the Warriors are just it's just systematic destruction of Kennesaw State. Every single fight is a win. Every single attempt right now for Kennesaw State feels like either wasted time or coming up short. And by the way, while all of that was happening, the Warriors got a second dragon as well. So add that to the list of wins.
That to the list of reasons why we are winning this game. We are at 2 dragons already, 3 minutes until the next dragon, and we're going to see Otacon kind of pop up at the same time as well. So a lot of bot lane objectives going to be coming up here shortly, which is going to... Look, the way when I was playing for the team and I was getting coach was like, fight for objectives. That's where you fight. And so that's exactly what Indiana Tech likes to do. We like to fight for objectives. It gives us a reason to fight. And if we win, we get a little extra bonus from winning too by getting that objective.
A little less than 4 minutes time. 2 minutes away as well from third drag coming up as well.
We do see that Rift Herald is actually up right now. And it doesn't look like Indiana Tech is going to maybe look to take that. We do see the top lane. Vigar is establishing prio over Vladimir. And the rest of the Indiana Tech team, except for Bandit Boy, who's also applying pressure bot, is going to posture towards taking this Rift Herald. So Indiana Tech currently just has pressure all over the map, making it so difficult for Kennesaw State to respond everywhere. Nearly impossible.
This is kind of a nice return to form. You mentioned between the last broadcast now too. This is a return to the top lane for Bandit Boy too. Last game was it didn't have an impact on the final result with the Renekton. Quiet top lane here for Bandit Boy, but he's not made many mistakes. He hasn't put his team in a bad situation. By the way, there's Rift as you were talking about. And he continues, as you mentioned, to apply pressure elsewhere, even though, again, hasn't really been a big talking point here. He's kind of oh my goodness. He's kind of let everyone else do all the talking for him while he's just, quietly winning wherever he goes.
And this is kind of what he does sometimes, is he plays these tanky top laners and just kind of is like, okay, team, I'm going to soak up a lot of pressure. I might die a couple times, but ultimately I'm always going to be useful because I'm a tank. And he's starting to get useful, getting a couple of tank items on Cassante. I'm telling you, he's going to be a big impact if they ever start fighting 5v5. We do see
Hecarim.
Hecarim is just so sad. He ults in, which is very interesting instead of ulting out. They are unable to get him, but he does waste ults, and I believe he ghosted. No, he did not ghost. It does look like Alistar might go down if K2's able to get the snipe. He is, and it does actually stop Hecarim's back as well. We also see Vladimir kind of in a bad situation here, but Bo is also in a bad situation, is able to heal and get out. K2 is trying to ult the Hecarim. We do see he's able to get himself in a nice position to maybe take down the Vladimir. Gets another snipe onto the Vladimir. Holy cow, he is landing spear after spear. And we do see Rift Herald also taking down that second tier tower. Wow, NECC just did so much at once. While Bo went down, so did Alistar, so did Vladimir, and they also were able to get a lot out of Hecarim as well.
That wasn't even the greatest fight that they probably could have taken either. I mean, Bo went in a little too deep.
You know what's great about this?
Yeah.
They just basically all the Kennesaw State's like, oh, we have to go to respond to top lane. And then NECC's like, we're done with top lane. We're going to go take mid lane now. And they just got all the pressure they needed onto the top lane. So they were able to just kind of move down and get the mid lane. And now they're going to go get Dragon and maybe even Otacon. Just kind of showcasing NECC's ability to...
they're fast.
They're fast.
They are very fast.
Exactly the way I'm trying to put it. Is they know what to do. This Hecarim, this poor Hecarim, just getting immediately bursted.
At what point do I have to write up a report for cyberbullying?
I mean, Luca is pumping out.
He's making a pretty good case right now.
So much damage with this Veigar pick. Although this is kind of showcasing Veigar's weakness, he's very immobile, and all sorts of Kennesaw State is on top of him right now. So he is unfortunately going to go down and get the shutdown goal onto Vladimir. That's a little scary. 3-1 Vladimir. Vladimir is a hyper carry. If he gets too far ahead, he can get out of control. Meanwhile, though, NECC is able to get that third dragon in 4 minutes. They might be looking at getting the Mountain Soul, which is I was mentioning earlier that Ocean Soul in game 1. This is a Mountain Soul. So the souls change every game. This one is essentially you get a shield, and if the shield goes away, it'll just regenerate over time. So you essentially just get a big old shield, and it's very nice. You get a little bit of defensive stats, I believe, as well.
Time in a while. Actually, well, I was going to say we have a bit of a quiet moment, and then the Warriors decided.
That's going to be Ari flashing away.
Yeah, so in case you're wondering, peace isn't an option, guys.
No, never is.
I was literally in the process of finishing a sentence going, oh, this is quiet. And
getting that pick onto Ari is probably going to result in NECC taking the Otacon. We do see 3 members of NECC heading to that Otacon. Janna actually turning around to go help out Ping in the mid lane. Tristana jumps immediately. Death sentence. Yeah, don't jump into that. Because let me tell you, Bo is right there ready for that jump, and he's going to save his ADC and just going to take the life of their ADC.
And the Otacon is going to go unchallenged.
Unchallenged indeed.
Yeah, that's not even a problem.
Kennesaw State at this point is like, we don't know what to do. They are scattered. Their ADC went down. Oh, we do see, it looks like they're going to try to make a play onto NECC's bot lane, but nothing's going to amount out of that. Right now, we're looking at almost a 10K gold lead for Indiana Tech. We do see Ari in a little bit of good position. Oh my gosh, and Indiana Tech looks like oh my gosh, Heckram almost one shot, and it's basically just one shot. But this is essentially a 3v5. But Bandaboy is going to TP in and save the day. It looks like Alistar is going to go down to the Luca, and Cassante ults Tristana the other way when she tries to jump out. Cassante diving in, so tanky, so much damage. Kitu is legendary. Vladimir is all that stands between Indiana Tech and a couple of towers.
So you remember how we were talking about how Bandaboy hasn't made the biggest impact, but he's been alive and is great at pressure. Bandaboy has arrived.
Yep.
At
this is the
right time.
Boy. This is the Bandit Boy.
And I think we might be on the precipice of game, set, and match here, ladies and gentlemen. That's 2 inhibs down. Gonna back here for now. Not quite able to end here, but
good call on Indiana Tech with respawn timers and then looking a little bit low and also waiting on cooldowns. That was the right call, is to back off, and they're in a really great position to either look for a team fight, look for a pick and end the game, or they could wait a minute and 50 seconds and get that Dragon Soul. A minute and 30 seconds, we have Baron. Indiana Tech has so many options, and Kennesaw, they don't really have any options. Their options are to clear super minions and hope to God they don't get picked.
A very depressing situation to be in.
No one ever wants to be in this situation, bub.
You are down 10K, a little over 10K gold. If you look at the scoreboard itself, your top, the top of your team is your 3-1-1 Vladimir. You look across and you see a 9-0-2 Pantheon.
My gosh, 3 items already too.
Yeah.
3.5, I should say.
Yeah, it's...
we also see Ping just picked up his 3rd item as well. Vigar working on his Rabadons. Overall, and we do see Kitu ulting in, maybe looking to get that Hecarim. Hecarim was able to get away. Now he's looking to maybe get a pick onto Tristana. Nothing happening there, just Indiana Tech moving into the base with minions. They might just look to end this game.
Going for it.
They have a beefy old tank that might be able to just eat all these Nexus Tower shots and tank everything for their carries to do all the damage they need. Vigar gets a huge stun and is just able to one-shot the Tristana. We just see in the backline, Alistar and Hecarim were trying to maybe catch out Ping, but Ping is full HP. Double kill onto the Pantheon. We do see Vladimir trying to make something happen. Nothing gonna happen. It does look like Ari was able to pick up on a kill on the Vigar, but that's a triple kill for Kitu. Probably landing every spear. I couldn't even see, but I'm assuming that. Could we make this a quadra kill? It's gotta be a quadra kill over to Kitu. What a way to end this game too. Indiana Tech just putting on a performance not even close to what we saw in game 1. Indiana Tech came swinging this game 2, ending the game with almost a 15K gold lead.
No contest.
No contest
by the end.
Love to see it. Let's go, boys.
Wow. I mean, it was an open discussion in the first 20 minutes of game 1.
After that, nothing.
Then the Warriors showed up, and Kennesaw had no answers.
No answers at all.
Like at all. Nothing.
Indiana Tech had all the tools they needed. That was what I was mentioning earlier in draft. Kennesaw State was so... They didn't have the comp that was able to kind of work together. They all just had like, oh, we have this pick, we have this pick. While Indiana Tech had all these picks that were able to kind of work together. We have Ping with long range APC, and Pantheon able to ult in, so that way Ping can kind of stay safe and throw bombs, pump out damage, while Pantheon's in their face, ulting into them. And we also had Luca able to just kind of one-shot even the tank of Kennesaw State's Alistar. Instantly wiped off the map with a simple Vigar combo.
Yeah, and the one that seemed like they may have been excluded from the comp, the Cassante, at the end of the game,
beefy,
and was the reason they got into the base, and was a massive reason why that last fight went the way it went as well.
Yep, he can just strut right in. Oh, you're gonna poke me? I don't care. I'm Cassante. I'm a tank. He does not care.
And then also does a ton of damage.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, the Warriors will remain undefeated, which means that something else doesn't change, and that means we'll have an interview here in just a moment.
With an MVP, I hope.
Yes, we will. We'll have stats. We'll have an MVP. We're waiting to get some info on who that will be. I would say that there's someone in my ear talking to me. There's not. There's no one in my ear. You're talking to me. Well, you're not right now. He's standing there.
I'm just standing here.
He's just standing here. I'm not sure what's going on. It's a weird day. I'm casting League. I don't know what's going on.
Bub's tired. We'll be right back with an interview with the MVP.
See you in a bit.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I got Key2 here. Key2, how are you feeling after that game?
Feeling pretty good because finally we, I think, played against a mediocre team after all the diamonds, emeralds, and plats. These teams are, I think, a bit better than them.
Very nice, yes. I saw in game one, kind of early game, you were getting invaded a lot, and that's a very different from what we've seen in the past. You're usually the one getting in the enemy team's face, but this time it was kind of the opposite. How did that make you feel, and what were you doing to kind of adapt to that?
Since I know how to invade, I also know how to play against invade, so it's pretty easy for me. But if I invade, it's better. But it's just thanks to my select teammates that I can't invade every game.
Yep, and that just happens sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes you need to adapt your playstyle to kind of others. You looked very strong in Pantheon. I thought I saw a buff for Pantheon. Is that why you looked strong, or what was that all about?
Well, Pantheon just got nerfed, I think, this patch.
Oh, a nerf. Okay.
Yeah. It's getting buffed again because they nerfed it too much, but I'm really good on Pantheon, so the nerf doesn't matter that much to me. Also, our team com was really good around it. Enemy team is just pick full diving, and then they're full short range. So the nerf doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, and that was very clear when you were able to get a quadra kill, and me and Bub were just, every time you landed a spear from afar, very cool.
Someone sold it Penta, by the way.
Oh, who was it?
Penta. I don't know, it was, I think, maybe Ping, because after I said he stole my Penta, he started yapping about that I stole his Penta last game when he just did a triple kill.
Uh-oh, it looks like there's a little bit of drama in the team. People are stealing each other's pentas. That's the biggest offense in League.
Yeah.
All right, well, hey, this weekend you guys have a LAN at Butler that you guys are going to. Currently, you're undefeated in the season. How do you feel going into this LAN?
As I said before, we didn't have a really good competition, except one LAN that people were a bit above us, our skill level, and we had to do adjustments, role swap, blah blah blah. So I hope we're gonna do better in this LAN, because we're now get used to new role swaps and new roles on Ping on AD and then Kian on support. So I think we have higher chance to win this one.
Very cool. And yeah, tonight was just kind of live proof that this role swap is working for you guys. So I'm very excited to kind of see how that goes and land this weekend. Well, I think that's all I got for you today, Key2. Thank you, everyone, to coming to the stream and showing support. I think we have a stream tomorrow. Do we have a stream tomorrow? Yes, we have a stream tomorrow. So tune in then, and we'll see you guys then.